Mic is on. Let's go. Okay. Okay. That's fine. Pokemon Vega. Already did that. It's, well, it's Pokemon Fire Red because, you know, it's a Fire Red hack. This is Pokemon Vega. Thank you, PPA. One of the most interesting things about this hack is its entirely unique sprite set and soundtrack. It also has a good set of Fakemon and a very, very keen sense of Pokemon's existing, like, extended universe. For example, your rival here, he's a Pokemon Ranger. And, like, the cool kind from the games, not the weird game kinds that I think came before the Ranger game. So his default name is Nathan, so I'll just go with that. Actually, I don't think I hit... Whatever. Excuse me? What is that supposed to mean? Okay, let's see. We're gonna be on shift. I'm gonna have to do something else to this save file in a little bit. Because this game is well designed in a lot of places, but one place I cannot excuse it for is its difficulty curve. You'll see what I mean when I get to probably about the first gym. Obligatory first person. Okay, never mind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, running shoes. Always appreciated in Fire Red. Also, running inside buildings. This wasn't in the, this is a Japanese hack. This was not available in the original Japanese version. It was added for the soft translation, which is what most people are familiar with, I assume. And it was just ported over for the full translation. Is that a Captain Underpants reference? Don't say that! Don't say, you did not raw me. No, don't say that. So, another thing about this hack is it's actually a sequel to another hack, another pair of hacks actually, called Pokemon Altair and Sirius. The thing is, those hacks are not very good. There's no physical special split, but the fake one are not really designed around it. And it's mostly just very slightly edited Kanto. I mean, not Kanto. Very slightly edited Hoenn, because it's an Emerald hack. Although it did also come out before Gen 4 was out, so there's some sort of, there's some amount of, like, credit you gotta give it. But, yeah, the Maz here is actually a character from Altair and Sirius. His actual character role, I think it's best to leave that for when it becomes relevant, because it's, well, it's kind of special. He's weird. So, your options for starters here are Nimbleaf, a grass and flying type. It's very, very, very fast, as you might expect from its name. Which is honestly pretty useful. Its attacking stats are somewhat low, but also pretty even. Which makes it pretty useful for dropping a wood hammer on something or cheesing out a win with air slash. But I went with that last time. Liquiput is more defensive than the other two, but it evolves into something a lot slower, and it eventually becomes water poison type. It's extremely useful though, because having a poison subtype or otherwise being immune to poison has a pretty significant benefit down the line. Lastly, Pyro. Pyro. This translation team was fucking beautiful. This thing is a fire steel type. It's also pretty slow and pretty bulky. It does not have levitate, sadly, so that ground weakness hurts quite a bit. But it can have either blaze or heat body, blaze or clear body, and clear body honestly is pretty nice to have, especially because this thing can also fucking explode. This thing has a slight, I believe this thing has no particular attack preference, but both of its attack stats pale to its defensive stats. I'd probably call this one the weakest one, particularly because you can't revive spam with explosion. But it still is pretty useful. Nimbleaf is hard to use early on because the rival picks what you're weak to, and dealing with a steel type early game is not fun. So I think I'll pick Liquiput. It is honestly kind of my favorite. They're all pretty good though. Oh, I got a girl. How about, like... just easy name. Soup. Nathan takes Nimbleleaf. And yeah, you don't have any of your Pokemon from Altair and Sirius because game mechanics. Obligatory first rival battle. It's about as interesting as you'd expect it to be. Another interesting thing about this game is that it has so much polish to it that if it weren't for its difficulty curve, I could honestly mistake this for a official Pokemon game. You can find, like, you know, even the generic, like, banal NPC dialogue, it's about on par with what you'd see in Pokemon. Nice. You never hear more than like 5 seconds of this song, except for a couple specific cutscenes, but it's, I believe, a direct port from Ranger. I don't believe my Pokemon are auto-healed, are they? Oh no, it is. Grinding is dumb. And I didn't put in the script right. But whatever, it's fine. It'll go away in a sec. Grinding is dumb. You'll see later. So, Tailo? It's Tailo. It's about what you'd expect. There is an incentive in this game to completing the Pokedex, but it is in absolutely no way worth it. It's an additional fight against a team of out-of-deck Ubers, and it's quote-unquote resolution to the plot. I could probably show it off, but don't expect me to actually clear the Pokedex. Because I did that once, not even a year ago, and it was pain. Bubble sure would be nice about now. Especially if it's gonna be hit with Growl. So. Yeah, Taylor. Yeah, I get it. Taylor. Can I see something new, please? Something I can actually have a conversation about? we go. Togepi. Togepi kind of is not great early game, although Charm is useful for something later. But it does have Togekiss available to it, so that's honestly kind of good enough incentive on its own, because Togekiss is really amazing. Especially because everything in this hack has amazing type coverage. You can get friggin' Thunder and, like, Water Pulse and, like... Oh, Aura Sphere and Air Slasher by default, but still. You can get a bunch of, like, wacky coverage on it, on these things, and it's pretty amazing. No, I'm just gonna... Well, great way to start this game. It's gonna be quite a bit of quite a breath of fresh air after playing Crystal Clear. That move was that move belongs to the final boss. Its special V crate has 180 power. That's the final boss's move. That's the closest we'll see to basically Togepi using Judgment. And Luster Purge, this is friggin' nothing. No, it's not a wild, it was the trainer. Although, I've used Togekiss before, and it's very good, but I want to use new things, because I played this hack a couple times. I want to use things that I haven't used before. Yeah. God, special move is so nice right now. Oh yeah, that thing was Glacield. It is basically special Ralts, or rather Ice type Ralts, but there's no Gallade, and it's also significantly more usable early game because it gets more than just Growl and Teleport. Early Flash. This guy is optional. If you miss Flash, you will be sorry later. Got even credit for sticking to his guns. Nidoran. Glacield. Taylor. Oh right, this route over here. This is later in the game. Actually, I think you don't get cut for a surprisingly long time, all things considered. Very nice. Just gonna try to skip to town so I can get to the Pokemon Center real quick. I'll do a formal introduction to this place later, but I gotta get back out there and fight the rest of the trainers. Houndour. It's a Houndour, but it gets a couple new moves early on. Specifically, it gets the move Dark Roar, which is Dark Special Quick Attack. Honestly, pretty nice. There's only one +1 priority special move, and it's learned by 6 things, so it's good to have more around. There's also an electric one. There might be a fire one too. I don't remember. For water gun, a bubble. You know, can't always get what you want. Rock polish. There we go. Pokemon's on our trip. Welcome to Genopsis City. It's a pretty chill place. Oh yeah, this guy. He mentions Altair. That Altair. The big stand-up thing about Altair and Sirius is that they had fully functional versions of Altair from Pokemon Heroes, which is honestly like it's pretty neat because like the movies are a large percent of the movies are represented, but Ash himself is not a character, so you kind of get to relive the movies yourself. There's no Entei. Mewtwo kind of gets in. There's no Celebi. I don't think Celebi's in any of these games. Which is kind of weird. Oh yeah, that's also a reference to something from Altair and Sirius. Vert and Turf Town's residents all say Poe for some reason, and there's never an explanation for it. It's a non-word basically. Hey, Toyo. So, first hurdle. The Windstreet siblings. Just gotta run back here real quick. And you're thrown into a battle with these three. Consecutively. No healing in between. Hey, yo, Lily White. Haven't really missed much, just explaining some stuff about the beginning. And also, I was going to edit the save, and actually this is the ROM that I edited myself. Grindy is dumb. So, yeah. I chose Liquiput, because it's my favorite of the three, and I've used all three before. So it's not like I'm missing too much. And I just want to use new things this run, and I'm not too worried about the level curve because I can just rare candy things up to where I need to be. And yeah, these guys have one Pokemon plus the starters. And if you quickly caught anything else and spread the EXP around, these fights are actually surprisingly tough. Now, if you're like me and only have been using one thing, it's not that bad, but it's can definitely be a thing. Especially if you proc the Pichu's static early on, that can fuck you over for the rest of the run, which I've had happen to me at least once, multiple times. Ooh, nice. Yeah, Spider, or Toyo, is, came up with some of the names for the translation team, and he's also very in touch with, the whole astrology saga, I guess. To the point where he played the Procyon and Deneb trilogy, or Procyon and Deneb betas, thrice in quick succession. Also, Sue's evolving. Sue evolves into Hydrush, which I actually don't know if this thing's like this thing looks fast. I forget actually what its speed is relative to its fully evolved form, but Confuser is nice. Yeah, he came up with Adnokana, which again, that's a fucking fantastic name. I cannot take credit for that. So, yeah. For context, when I was playing Crystal Clear, I named my I used Ekans / Arbok, and I named it Adnokana. Because that's such a fucking good name. God. Oh. I see. It's gonna be one of those fights, isn't it? Yay, Poison Plant. So, I don't have any berries. I have potions. That thing had a citrus berry, you know, because that's exactly what you want to see early on. And Razor Leaf already, even though I'm stuck with Water Gun. Oh, oh, this is going to be a long playthrough. Just because I lost. So guess what I gotta do again? If you guessed fight the first two, you'd be right. Luckily the first one's easy. Second one's also a non-issue. Citrus berries, everyone's favorite. Let's confuse you first, so that you don't get a chance to disable me, because fuck disable. It's not a thing. Anyways. And confusion. Oh dear. Gen 5 growth. Fuck. Okay, good critical. And Hand Hour. Dark Roar, that's the quick attack I was talking about. Alright. And Talo. This person has 4... Oh, that was also a new move. I believe it's called Glide. It's attack and chance of plus evasion. Or plus... Was that plus evasion or plus accuracy? I'm really scatterbrained today. Fuck. I tired myself out with exercising. Whatever. Anyways, if you talk to her now, you get a big mushroom. This is a fire red leaf green hack, so you can tell that the mushrooms are going to be useful. So, we've beaten the wind straits. That's only the first part of the challenge. Now it's time for the gym itself. Annette, the lively bug-catching girl. Her name is Annette. Annette. This also might be the physical representation of Lily, considering that you basically only use you have this obsession with Wurmple and other bug types. Anyways, give me here all the flowers and teleports. But something's a little amiss here. None of these teleports get you to Annette. Try as you might, none of these teleports will ever bring you to Annette. So, is the answer A, this is an incomplete hack? B, the game is lying to you? C, I'm missing something and there's an invisible wall? If you guessed B, the game is lying to you, you'd be correct. What you actually have to do is not walk into the floor accidentally. You need to examine these windows. This one has a button. There is nothing that tells you about this. Absolutely nothing. But now you can fight a nut. Issue number 2 with this gym. Everything else. First, Pineco. That's a water sport. I actually didn't mean to do that well. Pineco is Signal Beam. That's a TM, so I can't be too mad at it, even though it is very much early. If you let this thing, it will explode on you. Second issue, this roller. You can't get this thing yet. It has Rock Throw, but it is also a Rock type. It also has Steamroller, which is a decently powerful bug move that can flinch. I believe that's actually canon, so... Anyways. The real issue here, Shuckle. First of all, it's a Shuckle, meaning that it's fucking strong, and its low attack is not that relevant because it's very low level. Second issue, its moveset. This thing has Curse, which is, you know, Curse. Pretty strong considering it buffs up its attack, which is not, it's not high enough level to where the attack is scaled far that back yet. It boosts its defense, and most of the things you have are going to be physical unless you chose Sue, or you chose Liquiput. It has Rock Tomb, Stab, lower speed. I believe this is Gen 5 Rock Tomb as well. Its last move is Big Yawn. What is Big Yawn? Spore. Literally Spore, except it's a sound move. So how do you deal with this thing? Well, for one thing, I mentioned that Charm had use earlier. Charm has significantly more PP than... Charm has significantly more PP than Curse, meaning that you can stall it out. Also, you can bring... for one thing, you also just got Flash, meaning that... oh, it's Deep Yawn in this translation. It used to be Big Yawn. I'm very much used to the old translation. So there's a couple of other things that I'm kind of used from that. Anyways, Charm is useful because it has more PP than Curse. You can get Flash to lower its accuracy. Naturally, Liquid Putt helps because you can, it's Liquid Putt, it's special, so its defense boosts are irrelevant. And maybe you can get lucky with Metronome on Togepi. Pineco is useless for this gym, but it is actually pretty decently helpful long term. There's just Spikes and Leech Seed TM, and it can get both of them. So, if you want to have fun with that, go for it. Yeah, losing to this thing is a very real possibility, even with the fact that I've used exclusively this thing. Oh yeah, Pineco, Spikes, yeah, right. And, yeah. Also, she has Super Potions. This is the first gym. Wonderful, wonderful start. Let's try this again. Yeah. In terms of level curve, this game's actually not that bad. There's much worse out there for level curve. Difficulty curve, though, this game's teams, while all legal, are very brutal. This game is very, very mean. I mean, obviously Tohomon Insane's worse, but that's kind of unfair. I mean, even, like, Another World with its level 31 Z Reimu. Also, speaking of Tohomon Insane, if you're ever up to give someone a nightmare, I recommend looking through that game's sprites into the limbo slots. I told Lily White about it yesterday, and I may have accidentally scarred him for life. Sorry about that, by the way. Nice. Alright. So, yeah. And that was only the first gem. It only gets worse from here. The Signal Beam TM also helps, though. If you want to use Pineco, it's a special move, which Pineco is not the best at, but it is a high power stab. Also, yeah, every badge here, every badge in the, not only here, but also the entire astrology line is astrology based. Hey, it's me. Oh, I guess it spoiled it. Mosmero is part of the Hoenn Elite Four. So, yeah, this doofus is one of the strongest trainers in Hoenn. In particular, he's a Dark type leader. I mean, you could be his friend named Cause. Also, considering how tough that gym was, and for the record, just like Brock, you have to have be in the gym to get down here. So the levels are bad. Let's see here. So, anyways, pardon me while I pause. I just need to make sure of some things. In particular, I need to make sure I'm not going to miss any new wilds. I have the official run of the official run by the main translator open in the background, just so I can basically just so I have a hatch on everything, because this hack's documentation is not particularly explicit. So I just want to see if there's anything new I might want to add to my team. Yeah. Also, this is why I hacked in rare candies, because grinding on level 6 wilds to get past next gym leaders. So new island, like that new island. Let's see here. Hound Hour, you'd use that. I tried using it last run. It worked for a while. I dropped it eventually. Anything else new here? Still can't fight any double battles because I only have one Pokemon. Oh, I miss Purple Whirlpool. Yeah, there's the Spikes TM, by the way. Good to have if you're using something bulky, like the Fineko. Rolder, I believe you can get fairly soon. Although, I remember its evolution being level being a little unfortunate. Oh yeah, that's a Minch. I just kind of killed it, but it evolves into a Psychic Flying type. Kind of like an alternate world Noctowl. But it used to have the best name ever, but it's going to get updated next patch. Its new name is Blackjack. Its old name was Peacoptic. It's such a good fucking name, and I'm sad it's being replaced. Peacoptic, like Peacock Optic. Yeah, its design got updated in Procyon Deneb, right? That's why it's getting changed? So the villainous name for this game is called Team Dark Hole. Team name is kind of a problem in translation because originally, in Altair and Sirius, the teams are Team Dark Hole and Team Black Hole and Team White Hole. The team name here is Team Dark Hole, which is made up of ex-members of Black Hole and White Hole. But Dark Hole is also the name of Dark Void in Japanese. So either you lose the connection to Black Hole and White Hole, or you lose the connection to Dark Void. Also, yes, Machu is in this game, and it's amazing. I don't know why they came up with Machu, but it's amazing. Anyways, Rolder is in here. I forget when Rolder evolves. Sorry, I wanna weigh in. I know it evolves to a pretty defensive bug steel type. This thing is Coopercorn. It evolves into I believe it evolves into Hornicle, which evolves into Gobalt. Oh, Rock Steel. That's significantly worse, actually. I'll catch something else eventually. Diglett. It's Diglett. Arena Trap can be useful if you get it. Although in single player they don't tend to switch out much, so how useful it actually is kind of questionable, but also more teleports, because why not? But yeah, how useful Arena Trap actually is kind of varies. Damn it. You gotta do something in here to get to get those rocks out of the way, because this game doesn't tell you anything. I'm used to not being told anything at this point. Oh, this thing. I might actually be interested in using this thing, but not this one, because it also gets Intimidate. This thing takes a while to evolve. When it does evolve, it actually is pretty solid, but, not necessarily for how long it takes to get there. Yeah, there we go. Still no. I believe you can also find Tyrogue in here, which is pretty solid, actually, considering Hitmonchan gets a lot more coverage moves. There is no Wurmple in this game. I don't believe so, at least. Yeah, no. I was gonna say because DV evolutions, but no, there is a DV evolution. There we go. Here's an Intimidate one. Electabuzz maybe, I don't remember. Also, yeah, 45 catch rate early on, kinda low. I feel... Is Weedle in this game? I remember there being some, like, pretty otherwise unremarkable early bugs. Maybe I'm thinking of, like, Ultra Serious. Let's see. What's something... In honor of the item that does not exist in this game, but would make some Pokemon particularly busted. Let's see. I forget exactly what you do in this cave. It's kind of annoying. Oh yeah, well I'm here. Y'all ready for this? Might as well. Very nice. That attack is not looking so good. I think Bold's like plus defense minus attack or something. Maybe that's Calm. Yeah, here we go. This is what I want to do. Hey, I'm here. I see we both have to hear, or I see we're both like this, unfortunately. Oh yeah, also, you can't buy X items in this game. The justification being that apparently they bought all of them, and the grunts will always use X items, which means that they're also kind of easy pickings because they suck. This thing is not a ghost type. I still don't understand, but whatever. Right, it has levitate. This thing is not a ghost type. It is pure fire. And honestly, kind of a mediocre pure fire. Although it's got pretty beefy special defense if memory serves. Dude, that'll just bring it back to the entrance. Unless that's what we want. Fuck you! Is this the same route as the other side? It honestly might be. Yeah. Okay. Here you can get Minch, but it's not really that great past the early game. It's what you'd expect from a Noctowl light. Anything else out here? I feel like this is the route where you should be able to get a couple things. I don't know. George! Is the fossil? Huh. Well, there you go. Root fossil. Cradley's pretty cute. Yeah. Well, I guess cute in terms of gameplay sounds like, it's funky to have around. Although, no Brian in this game, so it's not quite Oris Cradley. No, not Vor. George! I'm adrift in the cybernetic cosmos! I can't supposed to do that, Jerry. Jamboree, or otherwise known as the thing that I named my Sarina after in Sun and Moon. Did you pick that up? What's that? Oh, do you mean for Cradley? Oh, yeah, no, that's... Yeah, that seems like a good combo. Wait, this thing's a flying type. Kawappa. I think this thing's getting changed to Cuba or something. It's... eh. Its design's kinda... Are you fucking kidding? Damn it. It evolved into, it evolves into a fighting water type called Capwando. It has actually pretty good type coverage, and it learns, like, learns Aqua Jet and Aura Sphere, like, pretty close to evolving, so it's honestly pretty solid. I think I used it in Alter Sirius, so I'm gonna not use it here. Oh, this over. It gets thick fat to make up for no snow warning. Do you think it's worth it, really? Do you think it's worth using Snover if it has friggin' thick fat? Oh yeah, this guy mentioned Brock. He's the first gym leader in Alter Sirius for some reason. All the gym leaders are new in that game, which I could not tell you why. Haha, Liquid Ooze. Oh, God, nice to know breeders are still breeders. These routes are wearing me out. Okay, reset my accuracy check. Jesus Christ. I'm supposed to fight double battles now, although I probably shouldn't because I'm really weak right now. I should get to town. I think one of these guys heals me. Maybe I'm thinking of a later route. Seal Bell's actually... Seal Bell is very good. Nice. Okay. It's your recovery. Seal Bell is actually very nice because, you can only catch Pichu around here. You can't... I don't think you can ever catch Pikachu. And Pikachu into Machu is also a happiness evolution. And you want to get that as early as possible. Because Machu learns 2 fighting type moves. And they're both really early on. And if you don't get them, you're stuck with Rock Smash. 40 power Rock Smash, but still Rock Smash. So, welcome to Rusted City. This place has the next gym leader, and also the Haunted Mansion. Also a rival battle if you really hate yourself that much. Interpol. Interesting. Actually, I think... Mimic, I think I found you. Does it make me wrong? Also, Doug Trio. Several quotes around Doug Trio. Also a mansion, or not mansion, a laboratory. And by laboratory I mean museum. Law of conservation of detail, you know that you're just gonna fight these things eventually. Also, Alamo's Town. Gets referenced a couple times, but it's not visitable. Oh yeah, one of my favorite details about this game. They actually made a skeleton sprite for its own fossil, its own fossil fake mon. Simbatooth is actually amazing, although I used it last time. Nice hand wave. Great, I gotta do both of those things. It also occurs to me that I need to fucking teach Flash or something. Ah, boy. So, first, rival battle. The Hone Catastrophe refers to an event that basically led into Altair and Sirius, and why that game is basically just kind of a slightly edited Hoenn. It basically just kind of fucks a lot of the geography in a very minor way. I could show off Altair and Sirius in a little bit, but It's nominally edited Hoenn, except for the fact that the Battle Frontier is replaced with Altomare. It also brought with it a bunch of new Pokemon, which are referred to as meteoric Pokemon. Which are basically all the Pokemon. Plus, changed a lot of the evolution methods, and by that I mean they needed to handwave not including new items. So, like, Togekiss evolves with the Sunstone instead. Oh yeah, there's no Pacific Log anymore. God. So I can go to the Spirit Mansion now if I wanted to. Or I can go do the gym. I think I'll do the Spirit Mansion first because I want to get a new team member. Of course, there's a Flash Layer here. I wonder if I can disable that through VBA. Let's see. Control plus 6? No. Damn. Alright. I would have to go into a map editor, and I don't feel like doing that right now, so I'll just bite the bullet and teach Flash something. Oh yeah, Mirage Island is also in Alter Series. I believe it only has, like... It has something not important. Is it, like... Is it still Why Not? It might still be Why Not. No, it's Munchlax. And you can get a Munchlax otherwise. Thank you for not being RSE, where Flash is fucking stupid. So, first of all, this thing. This fucking thing. This thing is Klotaku. It's exactly what it's exactly what it looks like. Its Japanese name was Otakun. If you evolve it, it becomes... Okay, right now it's a poison type. It's very fast, but otherwise, it's very fast, but otherwise not very good. If you evolve it, it becomes a Jaramus, which is the mascot for 2chan in a jar for reasons. And that one's more offensive. If you evolve it again, it becomes Jarmit, which is a dark type. No, Jarmit's a ghost type, I believe. No, Jarmit is the dark type. And then, hold on. A Jaramus is dark type, Jarmit is ghost, if memory serves. And then, yeah, Jarmit is defensive. But the thing is, its base stat total never changes. So, it's kind of shit. It has less than 400 BSC by default. It's not unusable, but it's not very good. Also, its name is fucking Klotaku. Yeah, Willisp is here. You need a Firestone to evolve it, and its evolution is not particularly strong, though it is pretty bulky. So, whether you want to use it or not, there are worse options, I suppose. I found Mirage Island in, of all things, World Link. I forget what it had there. It might have just been like... Might have been like Kason or something? I don't know. Wait. Huh, Molly and Chaz. Those are the replacements for Tate and Lee's, I believe. Oh, here we go. This is what I was looking for. Byzeast. This is based on the thing that Absol is also based on, but only in appearance. Whereas Absol does not share its appearance, but shares its powers. This thing does not evolve, but its stats are likely to be better than anything else you've seen, so I'm going to pick it up. It's also kind of a hard catch. So, yeah, this might be a while. There we go. So, this thing's name. Let's bust out my favorite name generator tool, Organization 13 Name Generator. Any of you Kingdom Hearts boys or girls? I know Mimic is. Its name shall be Zalsov! Because it's Absol's nobody. This thing is also in here, but it's like a 1% encounter rate, and it's not worth the trouble, especially because, spoiler alert, you can buy it at the casino later, and it's either way, it's kind of not really good. It's Psychic Ghost, but also very slow. It's just not very good. I'm sick of this place's music because I've been here for an extraordinarily long time hunting Byzeast and Byzeast and the magic girl, the magical girl. Anyways. Don't talk to me about that normal gym. I've got a good story for that fucking thing. Yeah, I think he has more special attack than Sue, and more physical attack than Eviolite, as well as a pretty competent amount of physical defense. Highest special defense on the team, or not highest special defense, but very competent special defense, which is also higher than Eviolite, and it is very fast. It's probably not going to compare to the final evolutions, but for now, it's very helpful to have. This thing's like... This thing's cry like giraffe rings backwards. So this gym. You talk to one of the Diglett, they all change patterns. You can brute force this one. It's not... It's annoying, but realistically it's not that bad because you can brute force it. Also, every trainer Rhinos in this game has Intimidate, so have fun with that. Sandstorm's not worth it. Yeah, I know T-Tars in this game, so you could run a Saiyan team feasibly. I mean, Jojoba is the name for the ROM file for Heritage. So, I guess you're not incorrect. Here we go. So, you ready for something fun? It's Rhyhorn. Mud Bomb missed. But it has Fire Fang. So if you want to bring a, I don't know, like a Steel type or something, or Grass type, you got nothing coming. Dugtrio. It's fast. Boro is a midpoint between Bulldoze and Earthquake. It has higher power, but it does not have a 100% chance of lowering accuracy. And Hitmonchan. This is not a bug. Yeah, every gym leader in Altair Sirius had a wild card. This guy's no different. This thing sucks. It has Shadow Punch, Mach... If memory serves, its moveset is Shadow Punch, Mach Punch, Fire Punch, and Ice Punch? No, one of them Psy Punch. Intimidate helps a lot, for sure. There's a super potion you get, I believe, in the mansion. Yeah, there's Psycho Punch. It's a Psychic type Elemental Punch. It's pretty much what it sounds like. Go to sleep. Go to sleep, 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 go to sleep. Anyways, I win. That thing's hard without proper setup. It has perfect neutral coverage against everything you can get right now. You cannot buy revives until post-game. The end of post-game. I tried running Team Jihad once, but it did not work that well because of no viable revives. But I did get an excuse to use some things I wouldn't otherwise use. Like Solrock. Yeah, it is. This hack is well designed in a lot of areas, but the difficulty is not one of them. Also, rock slide. That's kind of good for early on. What am I saying? It's good in general, but early on, it's very nice. It's very nice. Let's play spike because I don't like using spikes in game. Altair Sirius is not much better. The Flannery replacement has a perfect neutral coverage Slowbro. It's like Flamethrower, Ice Beam, Psychic, and Earthquake. Well, this hack gets a little dark in some places. You know, the darkest place comes at, I believe it's in post game. Yeah, it is in post game. I cannot wait to get to that part because it's fucking incredible. But why? You know, there's an obvious joke there, but I'm not gonna make it. Yeah, there's this. That's the one super potion you can get before the gym fight. So, if you're not as prepared as I am, and by that I mean you're not cheating, you're gonna want to use it and save it, or grab it and save it. Also, you ready for something real mean? It's a Mewtwo statue, like the one from Pokemon Mansion. You have to check behind it. Yeah, name raider. That's it could be useful. Maybe. If they ever decide one of these names is too stupid, I can just change it into the name raider. Admittedly, some of these names are pretty fucking stupid. Sub. Pokemon Ranger up here. go out that way. First, let me deposit some items, actually. Should probably sell the nugget now that I'm at it. Was there? Oh, no, right, Pokemart. I forgot what Pokemarts looked like in this game. Yeah, like, that's something else about this game. It has a very in-depth knowledge of the Pokemon's extended universe. Those are, like, yeah, Pokemon Rangers. Stylers and all. Let's see here. Have fun. Walking through walls, fighting a trainer, walking through walls. Item finder, which I believe is actually necessary if you want to beat the game. It's not a maze, but it is invisible stuff. Minch, Jamboree. I'd be able to get Pichu around here too. Velvelt. This thing is amazing. It's a teddy bear, and it's got something slightly wrong with it, but nothing ever acknowledges what's slightly wrong with it. It's a normal type. It evolves into normal fighting. It's pretty frightening physical attacker. Gives it a mean cross chop. Oh yeah, it also Intimidate. I already used it. Again, it's another thing I used last time I played, so I don't want to use it again. But it is very scary. Also, yeah, there's the daycare. You can breed things if you want. I actually don't know if you can breed this early. I forget. But, welcome to Gamboge City. Gamboj, I don't know. Also, this guy is the Berry Crusher minigame guy, of all things. I don't know why they included this, but it's a thing you can do. I can go catch Snover, I think. Oh, actually, I missed a trade in the first town. You can trade a Togepi for a Hoot Hoot, which can help with the gym bite. The Hoot Hoot is shiny, which is kind of weird. It's good use for a hostile Togepi, if you want to use Togepi. You can go get the bicycle replacement in there, but I think I'm actually going to call it soon. I've done quite a lot. But yeah, this hack's got quite a lot to show for it. So yeah, I'll come back tomorrow, probably. I'll have time tomorrow. Wednesday is going to be a bit busier, but I'll see if I can get a shorter stream in. Yeah, thanks for coming out. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate being able to show this hack off, because it's honestly a hack I think a lot more people need to know about. But yeah. See you guys later. By later, I mean, honestly, probably pretty soon, considering Discord. But hey, you know what I mean.